Hello and welcome to the Art of Caro. In this video I'm going to be learning to make bobbin lace, and that's all this is about. I'm going to update you during the course of me learning it over several days, and I'm going to continue in future videos when I've learned a bit more complex stuff so the videos don't get too long. So let's just get straight into the video. Okay, so Day 20. I don't know if I'm going to do anything more today. The last video I finished this lace, and I'm going to start up with this lace now. So I'm just going to wind up my bobbins and set it all up. This one requires 12 pairs of bobbins, so I'm going to do that, and I'm probably not going to get any lace making done until tomorrow. I'm gonna go now because I can hear that my cat is about to throw up, so I'll check in with you another time. This is day 22 of learning bobbin lace, and I've started a new bobbin lace yesterday and I didn't feel like filming, so I'm gonna show you what I've started up. This one doesn't have a name, it just has a number, but it's like two different techniques that you switch between. I'm gonna show you here. So this is the lace that I made so far, and this goes quite quickly actually, as I'm working here today, and I'm gonna keep going with this and see how far I feel like going today. So that's my update. Hi, today is day 24 of learning bobbin lace, and I can't remember if I showed you the last lace I finished, so I am going to put on a picture somewhere of it. I've started a new lace. I did that the day before last. That was day 23, and I finished it, setting it up now, and this is a really big lace compared to the other ones I made. It requires 34 pairs of bobbins, and I've just set it up and figured out how it's supposed to be put together because I don't have any instructions or any name for this lace, so I just tried to figure it out. I don't think I did it as well as I could have, but I'm gonna keep working on it and hopefully it will look nicer by the end. In like at the edge of the lace, it said how many pairs it would have and which sort of yarn thickness you're supposed to use, or like thread thickness. And I chose it suggested two different ones. You could use one or the other. I chose the thinner one. In hindsight, I think this would have looked better with a thicker thread, but it's a bit late now. I have wound up a lot of bobbins, even with, I'm going to show you, my mom made sort of a device to help me wind bobbins easier. But it was still a lot, and yeah, so I just add a bit of extra twist here and there and just to make it look nicer. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing. So this is how it looks. It alternates between this kind of pattern that is a different pattern than this one. It alternates between this and this. I'll show you later on. And then it makes these in the middle, and as you can see, it's sort of a very loose weave because I have so thin threads. So yeah, see how it turns out. And I'm not really sure about this bit either. I think I'm going to add a bit of an extra twist here. I tried that out in the beginning here, and I just did one, but I think I'm going to do two twists just to make it look a bit nicer and a bit more intentional. I feel like I could have added a couple more pairs here, but I was trying to follow the instructions, and this is all 34 pairs, so there's a lot of bobbins to keep track of, so I just have to work with what I got. So Yeah, I'm gonna keep going with this and see if I can figure out how to make this look nice. So this is day 28 of learning bobbin lace, and I've been working on this big one. I've showed you bit now, not a lot actually, because I'm not super happy about the pattern. It doesn't really speak to me as much as the other ones did. They were more fun. And I have also noticed that it's a bit more difficult to work with so many bobbins. It's not that it's difficult to keep track of everything, it's the same level of difficulty. The difficulty is that the other bobbins gets in the way and I have to work in a really awkward way. So I realized I need to make some sort of bobbin holders. So I'm going to make a couple of them and see if I enjoy this lace more when it's easier to work, because I feel like that it's more difficult to sort of work smoothly, and combined with the fact that I'm not super into the pattern makes me not so interested in working on it. And then my mom got me some more patterns, and some of them have techniques that I haven't done before and looks a lot more interesting. So I'm kind of not feeling this. I kind of want to do another one. So I'm going to do these bobbin holders and see if it gets more enjoyable. Otherwise I'm going to just quit this and put up another lace pattern. And that's going to be a small one, because it has, I don't know if it's called the same thing in English as in Swedish. It's called spiders in Swedish lace, and I find those intriguing. I want to learn how to make those. So yeah, that's maybe going to happen, but I'm gonna show you what I made and how I made it, and then I'm gonna make some more so this gets easier. This is the bobbin holder I made. It's just 2 pieces of fabric, and on one of them I put these loops in an elastic so I can put the bobbins in easily and pull them out, and it's enough that they don't fall out. So, and that's just going to keep everything in place, and I can, if I do another one, I can just move all the bobbins in the back and put them on top of each other, and that will make everything a lot easier when I work in different parts. And as you can see, this is how the lace is looking. I think I've done a few mistakes. I made most of them early on, but some things I'm not super happy with. And then this is the pattern. You get first this sort of technique, and then you get this, and then it repeats. And yeah, I'm just not super into it, and I think I could have done a much nicer looking lace if I had chosen the thicker thread option. So maybe I will just remove this, do another lace, and then come back to this with a different thread. Or maybe try to make it with different color threads or something to make it more interesting. But I have a bunch of different new patterns to try out, so I kind of want to move on to those. So yeah, but now I'm going to show you how I made this. So you can see my pattern here. I'm just drawing it out on my fabric. And then I'm cutting it out. And it's basically just 2 rectangles. And then I'm transferring my markings for the elastic. And the elastic I mark out slightly bigger than the stitch points, so it will form loops. And then I'm pinning the elastic to my rectangle. You can see the elastic sticks up a bit because it's longer than the connecting points. And then I'm using a very small zigzag stitch to attach my elastic to my fabric. Then after I've sewn the elastic, I pin my two rectangles, the right sides together. And then I stitch all the way around except for a gap that I leave in the longer side of my rectangle. Then I trim the corners and turn my shape the right sides out, making sure to push out the corners. And then I pin it. I didn't bother with pressing the fabric except for before I cut out my shapes. And then I'm using a decorative stitch around my rectangle. It's not super obvious because of the pattern in the fabric I used, but here it is. That's some stars. And you can see you just have to push the bobbins into the loops. Super useful. Okay, so I finished my bobbin holders and they work great and gives me a lot more space to work on. So that's awesome. I continued on my lace, the wide one, but I'm just not excited by the pattern. It's not that anything is difficult. It's very, very easy when I have the holder, so I have more space. It's just not a pattern I find exciting to work on, and I don't find the pattern exciting to look at. I think I want to revisit this later with a thicker thread. I mentioned that a couple of times. So I think I'm just going to dismantle this, or like take off the lace and just start with something new. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to doing one of the exercise laces that are in the Swedish exercise books. I need to talk a bit about the books because this is part of a bobbin lace book for a specific city that has a pretty strong bobbin lace tradition, from what I gather. And I have from two different sort of schools of Swedish bobbin lace, and this appears in both of them, I think, or maybe yeah, it appears in several of my beginner books. So it's this lace. It's called sockerudd med spindel in Swedish, and in English that would translate to roughly sugar point with spider. And I'm gonna show you in the book. As you can see here, the pattern and how the lace is going to look. And that's a new technique. I haven't done spiders before, so I really want to do that. If you're not happy with what you're working on, and it's not like you're working on it with a goal to like improve or something, I don't think you should just push on. I mean, if I'm doing a painting and it's not turning out how I want it to, I just keep working and working and working until it gets there. But this is just for the joy of learning a new technique and to find what I love about it. And I'm not going to go down roads where it won't lead anywhere and it doesn't have enough enjoyment for me. because I'm still just falling in love with the creating in this way. If this lace would have been meant for a garment or a specific project, I would have pushed on anyway. But since this is just for like doing them, I don't mind taking it off the lace pillow, except for the fact that I will have to remove everything. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do, and next time I update you, I will put this on. Today is day 29 in learning bobbin lace, and yesterday I said I was going to remove the big lace I was working on. I don't think I actually showed how it turned out, so I'm gonna do that here. I didn't do very much since I wasn't enjoying it so much, but this is how it looks like. I think it could look really nice if I used another thread, or maybe if I tried it with different colored threads or something, or maybe it would look nicer if it was more of it. But anyway, I wasn't feeling it, so that's what I got. And I started up a new lace, and I've done quite a bit. I actually had to reload my worker pairs, I think they're called, because I ran out of thread. And I did a different thing this time, because the thread required for this lace needed to be quite thin, and I didn't have a thread that was quite as thin among the stuff I got from my mom. But I have this, because I wanted to do something different, and this is a silver thread. That it's a sewing machine embroidery thread, and it's a bit different to work with. You have to be more careful when you are stretching it out and stuff like that, because this is a bit fragile in that way, but it works fine. I'm gonna show you what I've done so far. As you can see here, I've done a bit of lace here, and it's the pair that goes backward and forwards here that I had to reload, and I'm using my bobbin holders to keep everything organized when I take a break and put it away, which is great because sometimes my cat think it's fun to walk over this, and then stuff get messed up and I have to reorganize everything. But this is the lace. It's sockerudd med spindel, I think I said, and that's sort of sugar point with spiders. And as you can see, I sort of messed up my spiders in the beginning. I kept forgetting to close a part here. It doesn't mess up the lace structurally, and it's not super obvious, but if you compare it with how it's supposed to look like this, this one is messed up, but this one is correct. You can see it's a difference, so I've started to do that correctly. And for some reason this technique was a bit more difficult to sort of remember than some of the others. But this is a really enjoyable lace, and that's fun. I'm going to make a bit more of this, so I maybe can put it on sleeves or something, because it's an edge lace and I think it looks really, really cute, and I think I could put it on a dress or something. So yeah, so this is what I'm up to today. I ran out of thread on several of my bobbins, so I finished my my lace, and I'm gonna give you a look. So this is how it looks. Pretty, made almost 60 centimeters, and I think I have enough to do some little detailing on a garment. And I like how the silver looks. It's a lot more scratchy than linen lace. Yeah, you're shutty. He wants to talk. Yeah, so this was sugar point with spiders. I translated it as. Now I'm gonna move on to making this. It's called the Princess Oud. So Princess Point. And I'm going to be doing this in the silver thread as well, because it's the same thickness, and that worked well for me with the other one. And then I can use this lace on the other garment as well, so, on the same garment as this one, because I have some fabric in mind for a project I can use this with. So I'm going to get ready with this one. Maybe today and maybe tomorrow. And now I'm going to see what my cat wants. I haven't checked in for a while, so I'm going to show you. I've been working on the Princess Point lace, or Princess Oud. I'm going to show you what I've done so far. I've done this, and this length of lace is actually one entire length around this roller. So I'm going to keep going until I run out of thread, and then I'm going to do something else. But it turns out really pretty with this silver thread, and I think I have an idea for a garment I can put this on, so get a bit more of a length. Oh, and I should say, here you can see it went weird, and that's because I pulled out the pins too close to where I was working. I thought I had pins left high up enough, but apparently not, because when I tightened my thread, it pulled further up and it went weird, but it's not super noticeable unless I point out where the fault is. So I'm going to keep working on this, and then I'll see what I'll do next. I finished the lace I was working on, so I'm going to show you. This is how it turned out. I haven't measured it yet, but it's probably like 60 centimeters or something like that. And now I'm going to go and decide what I'm going to do next. And it might be one of the big ones I have, or maybe I'm going to continue with the smaller ones. I don't think I'm ready for a border for a handkerchief or anything like that yet. I'm going to continue with these lengths. So we'll see what I'll put on here next, and if I'm going to continue with metallic threads or not. You can continue following my journey in the next bobbin lace making video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment and hit the like button. And if you want to see more of my videos in the future, you may want to subscribe and hit the notification bell. May the stars shine upon your faces and have a glorious day. Thank you, and goodbye for now.